All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Chaos Conversation.
Back in the building. Back in the building. What's good? What's good? What's good, y'all?
There we go.
Hump days in the house. You know it, man. This summer's gonna be coming to an end too, man. It's
man,
crazy.
As hot as it is, it feels like summer's gonna be going for a long time now.
And before you know it, it's gonna be fall time, man. And all y'all ladies out here, showing off everything. I think throw on some real clothes, in this fall, man. But you're right. It might last till, I don't know, October sometime. Who knows?
There you
Who
go,
knows, man. But I mean,
all this rain. How's your week been, man? How's your week been?
It's been great, man. A lot of changes for the better. I just found out about these different how a lot of jobs are carrying these apps, so you can do all kind of from Uber to Lyft to DoorDash to everything is just on an app now.
Oh, you mean like a lot of temporary or permanent jobs people are taking?
Yeah. And then I've been looking at a few of those to help some guys and help some men and women find jobs here and there. They trying to start their second life over. I've been reaching out to them, so I'm like, all right. And then it's just been staying safe, man.
Yeah, man, you gotta be safe doing some of that stuff where you interact with people you don't completely know.
Hey, I wear two masks. I wear one mask on top of the other. Hand sanitizer, distance, all that mess. I even carry spray with me sometimes.
Right.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, man, you do whatever you got to do, man, because people are. It looks like this new variant of COVID is becoming a problem, and a lot of people are getting sick.
Delta?
You look at Florida and some of these other places, man, where they're not requiring masks, and people are getting sick. Kids are dying that were healthy.
That's crazy. That Delta virus, man. That's what that is.
Yeah, the Delta variant. But the reality is, there's going to be all types of variants, man. Just like the flu, right? Whenever you get a vaccine and a virus, viruses mutate. That's their job. Their job is to try to survive. So they mutate and find ways to survive. And so there's going to be, over the next 50 years, there's going to be a lot more different variants, and we just have to adjust and to be able to build our immune systems up a little bit, and try to keep ourselves as safe as possible. So.
There you go, man. Because it's crazy out here. And that's why, like I said, I don't care. I said from the very get-go, chaos conversation from a 2 minutes perspective on relationships. It ain't gonna go nowhere because there's always one thing or another to talk about, whether it's health, whether it's politics and relationships, whether it's relationships in general. There's always a way to go in relationships. So here we go, man. Here we go on the real though, because this one here. I'm gonna start with this one right here because this one got the most likes, the most attention, the most comments on social media, and that is.
Hold on, before you go into that, just remind these ladies this is a show by guys, and we may say some stuff that may upset you. You may not agree with it, you may disagree with it, but we're just keeping it real and telling you how guys think, how we feel as guys. That's all we can do. We're guys. That's the perspective we're coming from. So if you got a problem with that, hey, take some notes, sit back and listen. You may find you a man based off of some of these tips we're trying to give out. Hello.
Or if you want, you can tell them what they can email their questions and comments to. Sam.
There you go. Check us out on Facebook at Chaos Conversation. You can check us out on Twitter, Chaos Convo 01. You can leave us a message on Facebook as well anytime. As soon as we're back in the studio. You can give us a call, especially before, after the show, even during the show. We love you guys to give us a call during the show. So we can't wait till we get back actually physically in the radio station. That'll be lovely. We can't wait. It's been a year and a half, or almost a year and a half. So we're counting down into the days we can get back in there. But until then, just hit us up. Feel free. If you do not want to send your name, then here's a tip. Take your phone. Most people have some type of smartphone. Take the little notepad section or just write it out in a text. Take a picture of that text, and then you can post that. And you can say, hey, my friend sent this to me, blah, blah, blah. We don't need to know your name. We're not going to use your name on there unless you say, feel free to use my name, So feel free to bring the comments.
Yeah, man, just use a nickname, use your middle name. We don't care. Just something to identify. If you want some credit for it, hey, Just let us know. Because this right here, relationship is all over. Relationships is all what life is all about. That's why we chose Chaos Conversation, because then relationship has so many opinions to it. It's crazy, but at the same time, it's what life is about, man. Who you know.
There you go.
But if you guys are ready to get into this now, I'm gonna tell y'all this is the biggest topic that got the most likes, the most attention, not only on one-on-one, but in social media. And that was, at what point when you're dating, this is not commitment, this is not marriage, this is dating, okay? Because to me, it's all right to date a man or woman. It's okay to date more than one person at a time as long as you respect your limitations. But after how long of dating should you expect to hear the L word?
Now who's asking this question? Is this how long as a woman should wait? How long should a man should wait until he asked this question? Like what of
it was open. They didn't really say in the according to the comments, women like to hear it more than men. Men like to hear it back. They don't like to be told, they like to be the leader. And then it got as far as, in some of the posts, it got as far as if the man takes too long, what should the woman do? And then some other comments, they were like, okay, what if the woman takes too long? What should the man do? Or what is it a sign of? And it's like, hey, check it out. It's to me, I think either party can say it. But it also depends on the age factor, the age maturity, because you got some people who are too young. When the men, they hear that, oh, that's my soulmate. I'm like, no. But if you have a little more experience and you're a little more mature and you hear that, you're like, let me test him or her, or let me see if he or she is serious. So to me, age is a number, but at the same time, it's about experience, maturity. If you don't hear it, like let's say you're dating somebody, man or woman, if you don't hear it after at least 10 months average, that's kind of a sign. To me, it is. It's a sign of uncertainty.
What's the sign of uncertainty there?
If you date a person
right
for at least 10 months, I'm talking about from age 25 to 55. If you date a person for at least 10 months and you don't hear I love you by the 10th month, because most men only need 1 year to know if he wants to marry you or not, sometimes less than that.
Right.
If you don't hear, so that's why I say 10, if you don't hear I love you within 10 months, you have a right to question and doubt or kind of figure out what the hell, you really doing with all that time you investing in that person. I mean, to me, it doesn't matter who says it first. If a woman told me that, I'd be okay. I wouldn't feel threatened, or I wouldn't feel like intimidated or scared or none of that. I mean, if she beat me to it, I'm fine with that. It's just based on what we do, what I mean to her, because it's all about the actions. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, just to do somebody ABC 1, 2, 3, like dinner's movie, Netflix, or dinner's movie, and that's it. It's like, you kind of gotta do something outside do something special. If the person is special to you, to hear that kind of word from me anyway.
Right.
What about you, Sam?
Yeah, I mean, that's I have a lot of thoughts and opinions on this from a wide variety of perspectives, but
yeah.
I guess the first thing is, what is this woman bringing to the table that warrants her believing that she should be asked or proposed to, you know what I'm saying, from a relationship perspective. But let's put all that aside. Let's say, these people want to be with each other. This guy wants to be with this woman for the rest of his life for whatever reason in his head. Is there a time frame that that you should expect to have that question pop? No, I don't think there is a time frame, right? I know people that
not the question pops, just told that I love you.
Well, I love you and proposing is different things. Which one are we talking about? The question was about
the L word.
The L word. Okay. The L word. I mean, it's the same thing, right? I feel like people put, when you know, right? That may be 3 months, that may be 6 months, that may be a year, that may be 2 to 5 years. I mean, I doubt it would be 2 to 5 years, but if you're with someone and the relationship is getting serious, you're spending a lot of time together, it's naturally for you to have feelings for somebody because you're spending so much time with them. So that word could pop up, but I think people still need to stop putting, especially women, they need to stop putting so much pressure on this word, and guys have to understand what this word means, right? Because women have a tendency to live in fantasy land, and they live in Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast world. And this is how they react. This is how they think. They think emotionally, and this is, and a lot of guys, especially guys today, these simps, they've conformed to this way of thinking that women put out there because they're the ones controlling that narrative on love, and men have to bow down to this this theory or this this description of love and how it should flow, right? But the reality is men control access to relationships. Men control access to marriage. This is the reality. Guys have to understand this. Do not feel pressure to do anything that you don't want to do. Just like women don't feel pressure to, have sex or do this and that or be in a relationship. They don't feel that they know they control. What they say, my body, my rules, right? Guys need to think the same mentality when it comes to relationships and marriage. Guys control the access, and guys control access to marriage and all the rest of that stuff, right? So yeah, it's okay to have feelings for somebody, but when you cross that threshold and use that L word, it takes the relationship to another level. And we all know people and have seen that happen in relationships, right, Bruce? Where somebody said, the L word too fast, and maybe they didn't read the situation properly for whatever reason. We can write a book on miscues in relationships. I did it one time myself, and I learned a lot from that one experience. That never happened again. But sometimes you get your wires crossed, or you're hoping, your eyes are wide open and you're hoping something is going in a certain direction, but the reality is it's moving in a completely opposite direction for the other person. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a lot of ifs in there. I just tell people to be careful and have some conversation. Like Bruce always talk about the flags, right? Read those flags, read the situations, and kind of get an understanding of what's going on before you jump 2 feet in the deep end.
There you go. I'm gonna say this before we go on to this next topic. Is check it out. I think I've said it before, but I've never said it in these terms. Masculinity will always attract femininity from a man to a woman. When you say that L word, love, you go from dating. I don't care if you've been dating for 8 months to a year to 10. I don't care how long you've been dating. Once you say love, if the other party is feeling it, that's when you go from dating to commitment. That's the first sign of dating to commitment. Now, if one party's actions are not, not following those lines, I don't care if it's how the woman dress to what the man does for a living, how they act, how the masculinity is not combining with the femininity. If the actions don't mesh, then both of y'all should take a step back of I love you to, I don't know, maybe in love with you or something, but don't, because in love is something is we think about somebody every day, every second of the day. That's kind of in love. But love is willing to sacrifice for, just what it is, who you love, who you know. So, right. Yeah, once you use that L word, it's commitment to me, because you can't be date, like I said, you can date 4 or 5 guys, 4 or 5 women at a time. That's, everybody's numbers are different for their age. But if you tell them all that you love them, that's, you have something wrong with you. So you got to choose one to tell, okay, well, this is why I love you and I like them as my friends and love you as my man, my woman. That's just, again, it only makes sense to me. And, but if your actions don't follow it, don't say it, because you can't take it back. At least not that easy. At least not that easy.
Very true. Very true.
You will raise some hell. Because we're off that topic for right now. What other topic you have on hand, in your book?
Man, we're gonna jump right into it.
Go ahead.
What you call it? So, for a lot of people, especially our dude Kevin Samuels brought this up about 6 months ago, and it was fun. It was so funny because he was on another podcast. We're not gonna mention their name. Pretty famous guys out of Florida.
Keeping it real.
And they were keeping it real. And these ladies were going in, and most of these ladies, their entire income is based on OnlyFans. And so he went on them and talked about them as this being a temporary thing, and this is not building long-term value. When he asked them, what are you going to be doing 5 years from now? How will you be making money or whatever? And, they were all, they were interrupting them, getting all crazy, giving crazy responses, just going in on them, da, 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 da. And so, so what do we hear now, Bruce? What do we hear, a few days ago? The CEO of OnlyFans has come out and said they are banning adult content. They're banning adult content. So anything that's explicit, so essentially explicit content, meaning anything nude, probably, I guess, you can no longer do. So maybe for some people, I've seen some of those girls that were on that radio show or that podcast where I remember one of the females said she doesn't do nude stuff. So she's probably fine. Maybe that's more of a model type thing, maybe bikini model type stuff, which, whatever. But all the others did, nude stuff or whatever, or, I don't want to call it sex work or whatever, but I guess it is. And so I found it interesting that these same women talked all this trash. Kevin Samuels and these other guys, they had no plan. Most of them have no plan. This was a temporary thing, a platform that popped up. And there'll be another platform. We're not saying that. There's 2 or 3 platforms that have probably popped up since this announcement that just duplicated the code base and the style and created a new name or opened a new name, and now people will migrate over, But OnlyFans was a big name that popped up during COVID because people were up there making quite a bit of money, you know what I'm saying? Based off of subscribers. I just thought that was interesting that was brought up, that a lot of women, these same women were talking about, women's rights and how they don't need a man to take care of them because they're making all this money on OnlyFans and doing this and that. Bam, now this is banned. Will they go to another platform, or what will they do now? But it's just interesting how that got put back in their face now. And there's nothing against women taking control of their destiny and making more money than men. I'm all for that. But to throw it in people's faces and then have it backfire on you in less than 6 months, I just thought that was pretty comical to me. What's your thoughts on that, Bruce?
Man, that just goes to show, man. Women, they got it like that. We all come from them, but that's called being too independent right there. And
you got to break that down. What does that mean for you? What does that mean? Too independent. What does that mean?
Too independent is trying to play the man's role and the woman's role simultaneously. That's what that means. And when they try to do that, they think, oh, they're just being hard on the woman. It's like, nah, it ain't just about the woman, because, fans only is, the public, but at the same time, she had to think about, always have plan B. And even if that is her plan B, it's like, all right, then, what they say, never put all your eggs in one basket. All right, then that should show her that you can keep your independence. Just don't max it out every day. And if you do, don't depend on social media to be your plan A, unless you already got, even if you have a million, 5 million fans. I don't care how many fans you got. How many fans you got? Don't depend on just social media unless you have, you can have Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, fans only. You can have, there's all these social media, YouTube. There's so many ways you can circulate your fans to the point where, okay, let's say, let's say something happened to you,
right?
And you lost them all, or you lost more than half of them,
right?
It's like, all right, you got filed for bankruptcy because of that, because you ain't got no backup. Besides, don't just look at. I tell women and men also, don't just look at one social media site, or don't look at social media. Social media to me is one whole stream of income. I don't even count them, separately. It's just one whole stream. Okay, you got social media. If you are going to do that, I mean, hey, do you, but at the same time, find some ways to, invest, find some other things to invest your money and time in, like real estate, something ain't never going nowhere. But if you look, hey, being too independent like that, and let's say you meet a guy, you're so independent, and you meet a guy and he ain't got the fan base you got. It's like, all right, so what you gonna do with someone like that? I'm saying, what do you think she should do? Because in that case, I'm like, man, look, fans only. I know a lot of people who got a lot of followers in that, but it's like, hey, if the man don't come, well, let's say the man got the fan, the man got some fans only, but with another page, another site, but he can't match your numbers. Well, he ain't good enough for you either. Let me find out. I mean, like, she got all her fans on fans only. He got his damn fans on YouTube or something. He still ain't got half of what she got.
Right.
Well, he ain't good enough for her. Nah, it's stuff like that. It's like a lot of women's pride, their ego is starting to get bigger than their heart is right now. That's what's happening.
Yeah, it's wild, man. I mean, I'm all for people making money. That's my philosophy. I'm like, dude, go get your money however you need to and however you want to. But like you said, you got to be in this modern world where people can make money, especially like content creators, right? So there's this big push right now for people to leave TikTok and to go to fan base. So if you guys haven't heard about that, right? So there's algorithms built into TikTok and other things that tend to take, let's say Bruce made a video, right? Bruce doesn't do dancing videos, but let's just say Bruce made some dancing video, right? And then you had a bunch of other people, let's say they were younger, teenage age or college age, and they happen to be non-brown, right? They were white, let's say. For some reason, their algorithm will hide Bruce and show the non-brown people way more often than they will the person that originated or the original creator of that content. So there's a big push right now for people to leave TikTok, and it's happening by the millions. So they're leaving TikTok and going over to Fanbase. And Fanbase was created by what's his name? Isaac Hayes III. You know Isaac Hayes, the singer. I think he's passed away now, but his son created this. He's the founder and CEO of Fanbase. And so a lot of, especially minority content creators are going over to Fanbase because it's very similar to TikTok, but people can actually get paid for the content they create. So you may see some Chaos Conversation page open up very soon on Fanbase, so you can enjoy and see our content and have it there instead of other people playing our content on YouTube and other places, and we don't get paid for any of that stuff, so just a way. But back to what I digress on that, but back to what you were saying. People create this all types of content, and I'm all for it. They get this money. We live in a world today where people are on YouTube, all types of social media platforms. I won't even name them all because there's too many, and people are making money off of that, and they're making enough money where they can start a business after they've made this money, or they can fund their retirement. Like they can go back to working a normal job and take that money and dump it into an investment account and live the rest of their life. Or people are actually turning it into a business and, getting, advertising deals and, free stuff, free trips, all these other things or whatever, because they have a big fan base. And sometimes people buy this. Sometimes people buy those fans too.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. I mean, I'm all for entrepreneurship. I'm all for some kind of self-employment, side hustle, because right. I mean that's the way before all these 9-to-5s came around. That's the way everybody used to live, was selling cotton, selling water, selling watermelon, selling whatever. It was like everybody was in the sales game. It's not. Hey, come on, man. People got apples, whatever, man. So it's like, and in this case, all people have to do is they got to sell themselves. And here's the thing: is it don't really cost anything like that. All these sites are free social media sites. It shouldn't cost anything. Now it might cost you to market yourself based on how you want to market yourself. Like you want to say, if you want to be the top, if you want your business, your company to be the top in the when you Google it, then yeah, you got to pay something for it. But let's say you run across a woman, run across a man who says they want to have all these social media sites and everything like that, but their partner ain't down for it.
Right.
All right, that's a flag on a play right there, because it's like one of you all is for one of you all is either too cheap, or one of y'all don't have a division the division for that, because that's part of the game is social media. It's like you can try going back to the newspaper, try going back to some magazines, but social media is worldwide. So I mean, it's even in relationships. If your partner don't agree with you doing something like this, hey, there's always a flag on the play. It's up to you to catch on to it. You don't let that one flag on the play dictate what this person could or could not be in your life. Something to think about on the real.
Yeah, very true, man. So I know we all probably know people on OnlyFans that have some accounts and stuff, but are you urging people to the people are you seeing that they're taking their groups of followers and going to other platforms, or are they just going to stop getting that side money? What are they doing?
I don't see too many just yet. Like I know a few people who are athletes, a few people who are singers, actors, and they're not leaving their fan base alone on TikTok. But what they're saying is they're telling their fan base, you can also find me on this or that social media site. And what they keep doing is when you go to their other social media sites, you don't hear them advertising certain other, I'm not going to mention any names, but you don't hear them advertising other social media sites as much. That's how they're moving their fan base, one step at a time. Like they mentioned, they used to mention 6, but now they only mention them 5. And they're going on that 6th one, and they mention the other 5. But when they're on the other 5 social media sites, they're not mentioning that one. So, that's what a lot of them are doing. I'm not going to mention none of the social media sites, though. And like you said, there's too many of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's very true. Very true.
Yeah. So that's just that one topic with social media, man, and fans only.
Let's go ahead and jump right in. We got about 15 minutes left. Let's jump right into the third topic there.
Man, this one right here, I was surprised it didn't get the most likes, because this is what made me think marriage is too overrated. This is one of the topic stories I read on, and I commented and I liked and laughed at it. Actually, I was like, men, we are expected to propose to the woman,
right?
Even though I could accept a woman proposing to me because that's the way it first was way back when in ancient times. But men are the ones expected to propose. So check this out. A woman is ready to get married to this dude. They have been together for over, I think 5 or 6 years, because they had their ups and downs, and each one trying to build their career. So they learn a lot from each other. And come to find out, the woman gets proposed to, but not with the ring. She got a receipt from the dude saying that he paid off. Check this out now, because I've never bought no engagement ring before. You can probably help me out on that, Sam. But the dude pays off all her student loans.
Oh boy!
Doesn't give her no engagement ring, but pays her student loans off to in the high 5 figures. I'm talking about 50 to 80,000 plus. Now he doesn't give her the engagement ring. He said, what? No more. You have to worry about this no more. But he doesn't give her the ring. He said, but I still like to marry. He tells her, I still want to marry you. And she's like, the question is she wrong for saying I still want the ring before, I say yes, or before I accept your proposal? I still want the engagement ring. Now this is 50 to 80,000 of a student loan now. Yeah, this fool just paid it off, man. They've been together for 5 years. So they invested in each other pretty hard.
So what's your thought on that?
I'm gonna get yours first, man, and then give mine, because I couldn't believe that. And yeah, you know how much an engagement ring is, so
I mean, my main thoughts on this are that before I say that, what did you say the reaction was from the female?
She didn't accept. She didn't say yes. She says, I want a ring before I tell you yes, I'll be your fiance. But she didn't say yes. Oh. But he showed her the receipt. that he paid off all her student loan debt in the high five figures, 50 to 80,000. Now you bought an engagement ring before, so you know how much is the average engagement ring, and do you think she was out of line, wrong, or off track?
Oh, this guy. Shame, shame, shame. So let's start with him. He's a simp to all degrees. This dude, you know, you need to. Well, I'm not gonna call him that. Let me take that back. Let me apologize to that brother for doing that. But he needs to run the opposite way, right? So this guy took his money, his hard-earned money, and said, you know what? I'm going to do something of value and show you that I'm a high value man and take care of your debt and show you that, hey, we're trying to start our lives together. We're going to start our lives debt free. And I'm going to take care of this for you. And what was her reaction? Her reaction was, no, I want a ring before I give you an answer. That's bullshit. I'm gonna keep it real, ladies. That's a bullshit ass answer, bullshit ass excuse. She doesn't want to be with him. She wants a ring as a status symbol to show off to other people that, hey, look at this, I got a ring. So that's how you know this woman right here, not all women, but this particular woman is living in a fantasy land, in fantasy world, in Cinderella land, Beauty of the Beast, whatever, you know, whatever Disney cartoon you want to make up and say, that's what she's living in right now. Because this gentleman put down a lot of money to pay debt, which most of us wish somebody would have paid off our student loans instead of us having to pay on these things, you know, for whatever amount of years. And he did that. And her response was, no, not thank you. Oh my God, this is amazing. We can start our lives and do all these great things because this debt is paid for. No. That wasn't the answer. The answer was, oh, I don't want to give you an answer to your marriage proposal until you buy me a piece of jewelry. Because that's what that is at the end of the day, right, Bruce? A ring is a symbol, Even when you get married, right? If you get married a traditional way with the minister, wherever it happens, it doesn't have to be in a church, but wherever it happens, that's the one thing they tell you. This is a symbol of your love. It could be a damn Fruit Loop out of a damn Fruit Loop box. You know, what are those little things we used to have as kids? Ring pops. Yeah. It could be a damn ring pop. It's a symbol. That's all it is a symbol. And she proved exactly who she was. She proved exactly who she was to the world and to that guy. He needs to pack his bags. If she lives with him in his house, he needs to pack her shit and pull a damn I'll pay for it. I'll pay for the movers to come get your shit and move you the hell out of here. If this is her crib or if he's at his own house and they don't live together, which I hope they don't, then he needs to cut her loose and find a woman that values his high value and what he brings to the table and appreciates him for the stuff he's trying to do for the future for them. That's my
all that money back.
Let's go.
He should, to me, in my opinion, I feel he should do that also, just like old boy did in Diary of a Mad Black Woman, had that daggum U-Haul truck out there and didn't go mess all at my house.
Yeah.
Even though they were married in the movie. But on the real though, this is just my opinion. I feel he did something, as long as he did it from the heart, I feel she should accept it, because I've known women who went through the hard, tough times with their man, and they had to get a daggum cheap engagement ring from Walmart. But she knew, and he knew, that he didn't have the money for it at the time, right. But he was moving forward, but they were moving forward together. And next thing I know I've known guys to get women cheap engagement rings under $100. But after they got married and they realized, you know, they went through the ups and downs with each other, and next thing I know, he's making six figures, and she's a stay-at-home mom. And then he gets her, before he starts making the six figures, he gets her the engagement ring because he got his line, he got his life in track, and the other thing, she got some things in order on her end, and they kind of like built a safety net. But he got her a cheap old little Walmart engagement ring, and she took it. She took the symbol. It wasn't because it was cheap that, hey, you're going to get it. This is what you paid for it. Nah, it was, don't have the funds right now. Now, I don't know what their life was. This couple that we're talking about, I don't know what their life was like before he did that. Right. But I wouldn't care if it was $50,000 of student loans. I ain't got no student loans like that, but that's still a lot of money. I'm just curious, how much does the average engagement ring cost?
I mean, it depends. It depends. I mean, it varies, man. You can get a ring for, it depends if you value. It depends. So I mean, it varies, dude. I mean, I learned this. I've done enough research on this, having been in that situation twice, and
Yeah.
it depends if you want a diamond. Do you want something that's not a diamond, like
Let's say it has,
like an
a
emerald?
diamond.
Yeah. So I mean, I would say the majority of people get a diamond, but some people get like emeralds or other, jewels that
So a ring
you could
is a
be at the
diamond. How much
beach,
does a
you could
diamond
be,
cost?
in the islands or in Africa and find one of these stones laying on the ground and put it in a ring. Maybe you don't want a diamond.
So how much does the average diamond ring cost for engagement?
So the average diamond ring, I say at the minimum, you're looking at least $1,000.
Now you see
Um,
that he sit here, and even if it costs $1,000 and it's an engagement proposal. That's the part I think people miss. It's the engagement proposal, and I don't think she even wanted to even see that, man, because I'm just gonna leave it at 50,000. 50,000, that's like, what's that? 10 engagement rings they're saying you could have got
that's
a
a lot
woman,
more. That's a lot
and
more than that. Trust
hey,
me.
10, 12, I don't know how many it is, but
That's some
that right
engagement
there.
rings and a down payment on a house, on a property, on a mortgage.
There you go. So just on these 10 minutes that we have left, man, I'm like, to me, I think she was completely dead ass wrong for that mess, because it is the value that he's not trying to buy her. He's trying to help her as well as help himself. Now that should show you right there that he cares, love. That says a lot, because I've never had nobody or know anybody pay that much money for some student loans or even a hospital bill that's in the 5-figure bracket of that amount, because it helps you, it helps him. And if he's showing you that he has what it takes to make things happen for what matter to you, he's showing you sacrifice for yourself. And he went and buy him some cars, got him some rims, got him a new house, whatever. Pay off his own student loan or pay off his own credit card, pay off his own hospital bills or something if he had. But he didn't put himself in it. He gave it for for the woman he was with. And I'm like, man, ladies, again, a man is showing you masculinity in himself, of taking control, taking charge, taking action for y'all. And where's her femininity at? Nowhere to be found. Ladies, make note, because you guys wondering, well, why is this guy, going this direction? Why are these nice guys around? Because some of y'all are not being held accountable enough for your actions. Or sometimes hocus pocus out of damn troll. That's why. And you see, you're wondering, like, okay, everybody's wondering, okay, it was him. Everybody's always so fast to blame the guy. One thing I'm gonna blame him for is probably listening too hard to. I don't know how much they didn't say about how much they talked about this, but all I know is from that man was trying to help the woman that married to him, and for her to not even say yes with no hesitation that she wants a ring, you can say yes on the spot and then ask for a necklace, a ring, or some kind of, like Sam said, symbol of love, symbol of commitment later. Now that right there, that's just my honest true opinion. Yeah, everyone wants the symbol to show off all the bling bling to other friends. Everyone wants that. But hey, you want something special. You want to be, since women are so special, this was something special from the heart. But what she do? Messed it up. So yeah, I think she's wrong for that. Dead wrong. Dead wrong, because that is I don't know how many kids they got together, if she got her own kids or what. But ladies, if a man does something like that, I don't care if it's your hospital bill, I don't care if it's, let's say he pays off your house or something, so you can come stay with him and buy a new house, and you can rent yours out or something. He's showing you value that now money can't buy happiness, money can't buy love. We know that. But he's showing your ass that he wants to be with you, and that you married, and that your feelings matter to him. I don't know, she kept barking in this guy's ear about how much her student loans were piling up with interest or whatever. Well, I'm not sure what they talked about, and for her, but when a man like that does something for a woman, man, it speaks volume. It speaks a lot of volume.
Yeah.
So ladies, you got to go ahead and, like I said, stop acting so daggum independent. And if you want something outside the norm, when something like that comes outside the norm, it's called showing appreciation, showing your femininity, and showing that you love him, you like him more for it, or you appreciate him for who he is. Don't sit there and act like all independent and all old school. It's a new millennium. It's time for something new. As a man, I don't know if I don't know how. I'm not gonna say I don't know how I would appreciate that from a woman. But would I tell her no? I mean, I wouldn't expect her to propose to me with that. I probably like, could I accept that like a birthday gift or something? I don't know how I would. I'll say it like that. I mean, because that is a lot. If I had that, like if I had like this house or she paid off the house or something else like that, it would show me like, you know what, honey, if I want to be with her, I'd be like, you know what, let's move forward. But if I couldn't see myself with her, I'd be like, I appreciate it, but you may want to get a refund.
Right.
I just go ahead and say on the spot.
Yeah, I mean that's it's a hell of a way to end a relationship, but she sealed her fate when she gave that kind of response. I mean, she could have phrased that in a different way, and I think it would have gone over much better. But because her initial instinct was, "Hey, this is cool and everything, but I'm not going to give you an answer until you give me a ring." Like she sealed her fate. That she licked the envelope, put the little thing on there, put the stamp, and she mailed it away. She sealed her fate. So I mean, it is what it is. It's life. I hope the ring. I hope the symbol of a ring or having that ring on a finger right now, because like you said, he never said he wasn't going to give her a ring later. It was just right now. This was his initial, reaction, and some of this is guys versus females, right? He needs to read that book that I sent you guys. Like this, in the guy's mental state, in his mentality, he was like, "Oh, me paying off this debt and helping us build a future together is way more important than putting a ring on your finger as a symbol of our love. This is way bigger than that. This shows more love." But to her, it did not mean that. To her, it was almost the complete opposite. Your love should be through this ring, not you paying off my student loan debt. I don't care about that, us being in debt. Whereas he was thinking more practical, I guess you could say. He was thinking with his brain. He was thinking with his big head up here, and his heart, I guess you should say. And
he was thinking from the heart. She was acting from the mind more than he was.
Yeah, so it's it's interesting, man. But as we get into the backside of the show, we just want to again remind people that COVID is real. It's taking over. We're hearing countless stories where people are on their deathbed in the hospital and saying, "Oh man, I wish I would have." They're asking the doctors, "Hey, can I get the vaccine now?" And I've heard those doctors over and over again say, "Hey, it's too late." Like it's too late now. You're on a respirator, or you're about to get put on a ventilator. You might die. It's too late now. Take precautions out there. It looks like this Delta variant isn't going anywhere. And to be honest, Bruce, I would put money on it. If we were in Vegas and they said, "Hey, what are the odds that they will shut down school and they will go back to virtual?" I think that I would take the odds on that. I think it's very high that kids will end up going back to virtual before the holidays, before the end of the year.
Just how much would you put on it?
I put 1,000 on it. I put 1,000 on it because I'm looking at the numbers, I'm looking at the trends, and you know me, this is what I do, right? I make money, with the stock market going up and down, stocks and options, ETFs, bonds, cash, Bitcoin, crypto. I'm in it all, and I've been doing it for years, ever since I first learned how to do it. And matter of fact, Bruce and I have been talking to some local groups and organizations, maybe some churches. I think churches are a good way to get in, so you can get groups of young people together. Maybe even in the schools to start holding some free informational sessions, just teaching kids on personal finance, right? Because those are the things you really need to know in school, right? What is a checking account? What is a savings account? What is a stock? What is a bond? What is a mutual fund? How do I make money? What's a 401k?
I don't like 401ks. Yeah,
right.
I don't like 401ks, but teach them just the basic fundamentals: 401k, CD, mutual fund, that kind of stuff.
The bare bones basic, so people can start investing in themselves. And that's the biggest thing people don't realize. You need to invest in yourself. Like this one class I heard about in colleges, I think it's called I think it's called Buy Stocks, Not Sneakers, or something like that. And it's targeted young people, and me being a sneakerhead and made a lot of money selling sneakers when I was in undergrad after I stopped playing ball. I do appreciate that. I appreciate my sneakers, but also appreciate people where you can make enough money and have that money making money for you. And then you can go out and buy all the sneakers you want, But yeah, you can't buy those sneakers and you can't invest in anything if you don't protect yourself. So I know it's still, it's going to be summertime for a while and it's warm outside. I'm not saying don't go out and do those things. Bruce and I enjoy those things, but try to stay outside as much as you can. If you're at a bar, something like that, put your mask in, go inside, grab a drink, come back outside on the patio or whatever. A rooftop building in the city or whatever. But try to enjoy life, but also understand that, life is short. We don't want any of our friends and family dying off of something like this. Is it possible you get sick? Yeah. That is possible, right? You look at the flu shot, right, Bruce? People got flu shots for years. It doesn't mean you're not going to get the flu, but what it does mean is that you most likely will not end up in the hospital.
It won't be as hard on your body.
Exactly. It won't be as harsh on your body. And that's the one thing I think people are getting confused with COVID. For some reason they're going crazy and thinking it's some other thing. It's just a vaccine. It's not saying that you're not going to get sick. You can get sick, but what it's saying is that if you do get sick, it's 99.9% going to keep your ass out of the hospital and keep you from dying. But we are seeing evidence of this Delta variant hitting people that have been vaccinated, and people are dying from it that are vaccinated. I just talked to one of my friends yesterday, and one of his friends just died about 6 or 7 days ago, and he had the vaccine. Now, he did have some conditions, so that's a little different, right? So he did have asthma, and he did have, I think, maybe diabetes or something else or whatever. And so when it did hit him, he didn't even know he had COVID. He was having to use his inhaler a little bit more, breathing and stuff. And then, his wife was like, hey, maybe you should go to the doctor or the hospital. You've been using this inhaler a lot and usually don't use it. And he went and he passed out at the hospital and died 5 days later. So, I mean, he's feeling fine one day and a couple of days later he's in the hospital, and 5 days after that, he's dead. So we're not saying that, we're not trying to give you medical advice in terms of what you need to do, but at least talk to your doctor, ask them for their opinions based on your own body and what's going on with your own body, especially if you have pre-existing condition. I mean, we all have some sort of pre-existing condition, but if you have something that's high up on that list, right? Yeah, if you have something high up on that list, like cancer, diabetes, breathing problems like asthma and other stuff, you gotta do a few more things. So just be safe out there.
Well, that's your family too, man. No, that's really it, man. Is that you guys always hear me saying this, man. We got one life to live, and like I said, you got to have respect for your temple of God. And if you ain't got so much respect for your temple of God, don't expect no one else to, because in this case, it fits it almost perfect. I'll be out in the community, and there's still some places I go, like when I go shopping in grocery stores, I'll still wear gloves in there. I'll wear some cheap gloves because everybody's touching food and touching boxes of this and that. And then once I finish shopping, I do stuff like, wipe that stuff off, have some wipes in your car to wipe it off while you got a chance, because otherwise that's how it spreads. But it's like, don't stop the basic fundamentals just because you got a shot, or because to me, I think too many people misunderstand it. It's out there. It's like it's germs. That's how germs have always spread around from one party to another. And it's all you do is be safe, man. Pray about it, and learn. Not really learn too much about it, but do try to learn your own body a little better too. Everybody's body is different.
Very true. Very, very true. So hey, until next time, thank you guys for joining us. Stay tuned. Check us out on Facebook, Chaos Conversation. Check the videos out on Chaos Conversation on Facebook, Chaos Combo 01 on Twitter. You can also check us out on YouTube at Chaos Conversation. Just type in the name, it pops up. You can check out all the videos, especially while we've been quarantined and not in the studio. And it looks like, we may be going into a longer lockdown, so we may have to continue to do this for maybe another 6 months or so. But when we get back in studio, we'll be streaming. We'll be, physically on air on the radio station 72.9 The Voice. But then you can also check us out as we live stream as well, kind of behind the scenes and what we're doing there. So until then,
let me say this in closing, Sam. You know what I'm saying? Let me say this in closing. I'm gonna find y'all a number you can dial in at, man, and be stating your opinions, whether it's here on whether it's YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, wherever we're gonna be. I'm gonna find a number for y'all to dial in so you can state your opinions and ask your questions too.
Oh yeah, I think through our recording mechanism here we can do something, but when we're live on Facebook, it's easy for people to join on Facebook. But what I will do is we have the settings here. So what I will do is, like, I have a number people can call into, but I think we have to have the other version of the platform we're on right now. So I will look into that. Let me look into that and see what we need to do to have people call in to the number here, and then we can go from there. We can do it that way.
All right, sound like a plan, man. Let's do it. We'll see you
all right,
later.
man. Until then, next time, Hump Day, Chaos Conversation, 72.9 The Voice. You guys have a great rest of the week. Be safe, wear a mask, wash your hands, sanitize, do all that stuff, gargle, keep yourself healthy and strong. We'll see you guys soon.
All right, peace.
Peace.